let's talk a little bit about intellectual property. It's time for IP in the news.
Well, now, Richard, we've been practicing this and he's been a little irreverent. So,
So go ahead. Yeah,
yes.
who knows? I might be very reverent.
No,
we need to keep them in suspense. But
the United States Patent and Trademark Office, familiarly known as the USPTO, has this special thing they do every year called Patents for Humanity. Now, this is where he usually starts going off. But anyway.
I'm keeping my mouth shut so far.
So they try to find patents that they think they have the most effect on making human life better on this planet. They have 5 categories, well, 6 this year because they added COVID this year. But they have medicine, nutrition, sanitation, household energy, and living standards. So if you have a patent application or even an issued patent that falls into one of those categories that you think helps the human race, then you can apply for this patents for humanity.
So wait. So aren't all patents for humanity? I mean, are we
some
helping?
Are for animals.
But are are aliens filing these or animals filing these? No, anyway. Every patent is for humanity. So why do you have to have a special award for it?
Publicity. So he is very jaded. Okay, so Richard, so the prize is you get
just wait for this. This is the US Patent Office PR team going overtime. What is the prize?
The prize is that you get an accelerated examination.
Okay, so right there, if you're an inventor, what would you rather have? A trip to Hawaii or an accelerated examination procedure, right?
I would rather get the accelerated examination because you know they like you. So they're probably not going to hit you with a bunch of stuff. So anyway, and so you can apply for this until Friday, December 8th of 2021. So if you are a patent holder or a patent application holder, you should definitely go to the USPTO website and look for Patents for Humanity.
And take your shot at getting that accelerated exam because who wouldn't want
And don't listen, look, he's been doing this for 30 years. He's written, I don't know how many patent applications.
A lot, in the thousands. So I just.
So he's very jaded, but
I'm not jaded. I'm just the patent office, they're trying to do something good. And I understand why they're trying to do it. And I agree with the mission on this project. Okay.
Good.
It's just.
That's good.
Well, thanks. But the prize is not going to get anybody juiced, in my opinion. So I know they think it's a big deal, but I personally, I'm ready to move on to something else.
Yes. So let's move on to the interesting patent that you found online.
Right. So for our listeners listening on the radio, I'll try to describe this. If you're watching us on YouTube, go to the video. You can actually see a picture of this patent. But what it is, and I'm going to hold it up here, it's a shark protection suit. So it's a full wetsuit with metal spikes coming out of it. So in theory, if a shark bites you, or they're not going to bite you because of the iron spikes coming out of the rubber suit. So you've seen those war helmets with an iron spike on the top. Well, just think of somebody covered with iron spikes like a porcupine, okay? And this is supposed to deter the shark. And this was
everybody else on the beach too.
I was going to be saying, just be careful you don't hug your dog, play with your kids. I don't know how effective it's going to be because really the shark's not going to get the idea until after he bites you the first time, right?
I did not see it for sale on Amazon.
It may prevent a second bite, but I don't think that it's going to prevent a first one.
I didn't see it for sale on Amazon, and I haven't seen it on the beach. So I don't think. But anyway, we thought that was pretty cool. I mean, the guy did get a patent issued on it, so
he did, kudos. And
kudos for him. So anyway,
can you imagine driving home in your car and just all the holes in your upholstery? Anyway,
well, patent. Patents. We have, as you might imagine, we have patents and copyrights and registrations going all the time, every day. But the one issue that the patent office generally works by, and that suit is a perfect example of, is there one uh-uh. There ain't another. And so you get one, you get a patent.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Even if it's a bad
as
idea.
There
usual,
ain't
Len
one.
is leading the way, and we're now into Richard's roundtable where everybody gets to comment on what we just talked about. And so Ren's comment was, well, they don't really consider the practicality of it. It's just whether it's
invented.
I think it's practical. Like we work with animals all the time. And when like, I'm thinking, okay, it's the same as a clownfish and a pufferfish, and that's how they deter shark bites. So the sharks will see that and not be going after, because they're taking natural elements of what other fish in the ocean are doing and stopping them from biting it. So I
All
actually thought of it completely different.
You raise
And
a
thinking of
very
the
good
animal
point.
side is that when they see animals with bright colors, that means poison. When they see animals with pointy things coming out of them, means it's going to hurt. And they learn from it one time, and that's it. But so most sharks wouldn't. Most sharks
Just
are afraid of people.
don't be
anyway,
the
so.
one person who's the one.
Exactly.
down.
Don't be the first
Yeah.
one. Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe if they had an air valve and they inflated the suit, I think that
Yeah, like
could
a
work
puffer.
too.
Yeah. Seems like it's more dangerous than it would be worth. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe just don't dive with sharks unless they're like, just don't dive with great whites and you'll be fine. Other sharks don't bite.
I think that's probably like a pretty good
Good advice.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're going to have animal people on the show, you've got to be careful what you say about shark
Animals.
protective patents, right? Because they're always
You
going to
never
come
know.
back at you. And
They know a lot more about different kinds of animals than we do.
I should just keep my mouth
I
shut.
know about cats. That's about it. So Melissa, did you have a comment?
I mean, more, just to kind of go along with what Colleen says, it seems like an interesting idea, but seems like it would be more trouble than it's worth. Plus, they already have shark-proof suits and all kinds of things that they can't bite through. So I don't know if it would really be beneficial to anybody. It seems pretty funny, but who knows?
We
It does
have
sound like it would
friends
hurt
who
more.
have,
Yeah.
dog,
I feel like you'd have to hold
dog
your arms out all the
protectors.
time. You couldn't, like, you'd be hurting yourself. Yeah.
There are items out on the market for little dogs, and I'm sure you've all seen those.
Yeah.
And you wrap the dog in this protective vest, and then there's also little spikes that they have that protect it from eagles if you're walking with your little tiny dog. And we happen to have some friends who have those, and they're very strange looking.
Very
But
strange.
so far, that dog has
So
survived,
Jennifer
so it's
Shapiro-
good.
So Jennifer Shapiro-Lee, do you have a comment on anything?
I mean, I think it's a fascinating idea coming from a psychological perspective. I think that if people who are going to go snorkeling or scuba diving, they may feel emotionally just more protected having something like that. I think it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, I have friends that wear collars with spikes coming out.
You do not.
And so I wonder if they're just kind of doing sort of a minimalist version.
Oh, I see. Keep everyone away or something.
Honestly. Okay, Jennifer Flood. What would-
Yeah, I'm gonna go with what Colleen said. I think like sharks want to stay away from you.
Mhm.
So I feel like they would be scared of the spikes. Like they wouldn't want to be, trying to attack you.
Okay. That's a, so we have votes for this
We have
invention.
votes
So
for
come
this
on,
invention.
put it on the market. So Kenya, what do you think?
Well, I think it's a cool invention. I would just be, curious to know, like, it's protecting us from getting bit, but like, what is the mortality rate amongst sharks now? It's like, do we have sharks who would get even more hurt by, you know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering how how does it offset when
So
it
you
comes
think
to
that
the shark?
sharks should also have a suit to protect them from people is what you're saying. Got it.
Well, something like that. I mean, I feel like we're intentionally going into their environment, right? So, and we want to protect ourselves, but as long as it's like not going to hinder them to the point where we feel like they're going to die from this, then I think it's a good invention.
Well, after reading the patent, I'm disappointed to point out that the patent drafter did not include similar sharks for other similar suits for other animals, including sharks. So it was not as broad as possibly they could have drafted it.
But I do want to go back to Ren's point in that this was extremely inventive and unique, and that is the best way to get your patent allowed by the patent office. So
Right,
that's
do
a
something
good point.
crazy.
Well, you don't know what's going to sell. I mean, I would never discourage anybody from trying to follow their
Oh,
dream and
absolutely
sell
not.
whatever, because we bought pet rocks.
Mhm.
You remember that?
Absolutely.
So anyway,